Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Your Reapit integration has just been upgraded. Everything you need to know about the integration between Fixflo and Reapit. My name's Jessica Doobie, and I'm the Product Training Manager here at Fixflo, and I'm going to be co-hosting this morning's webinar with Michael Wood from Reapit.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Wood. I'm Partner Success Manager here at Reapit. My role is to help customers get the most out of the app market. So I'm joining today to help you better understand how Fixflo works with Reapit.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Michael. It's a real pleasure to have you on here today. And I would like to thank everybody for their time this morning. I do understand it's a really busy time of year, especially for property managers. So thank you so much for taking the time out to join us on today's webinar. This webinar is, of course, being recorded, and we will send a recording to everyone by the end of play tomorrow. So please do keep an eye out for that. So if you do want to rewatch any sections, of course, you'll have the opportunity to do so. This webinar will take about an hour for us to get through. So before we get started, I just want to give you all an agenda so you can see exactly what's coming up in today's webinar. So first of all, we're going to be speaking about Fixflo and Reapit, and we're going to be talking about the integration, giving you an overview of it and explaining what's new. I'm then going to be introducing Fixflo's contractor marketplace offering. And at the end, there will, of course, be a live Q&A. So any questions that you have at all, it's a really, really good opportunity for you to ask, whether they're for myself or for Michael. We'd be so happy to see you engage today and answer your questions best we can regarding any question you have about Fixflo or, of course, Reapit. Brilliant. So as I just mentioned, questions, there is a Q&A button available on your Zoom bar. Simply click there, ask away, and we will answer everything at the end just to keep us fully on track today. Brilliant. So we're going to start talking about the data which syncs between Reapit and Fixflo, and I'm going to hand over to our Reapit expert, which is Michael, to go through this.
Thank you, Jessica. Let me just share my screen for a moment as we look at Reapit. But before I get that set up, so just to confirm, what's really important here to understand is when you have your Reapit integration with Fixflo enabled, Reapit is your source of truth. So all the information that you need to be available on Fixflo, your properties, your managed tenancies, your landlords, your tenants, and your preferred suppliers, it's really important that information is correctly updated in Reapit. Fixflo will take all that information from Reapit and upload it to your Fixflo portal. So again, just as a reminder, Reapit is your source of truth. There's a number of key data that is taken from Reapit, as a list is managed properties. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Your landlords that are related to your managed properties, any tenants that you have related to those managed properties, your tenants are going to be associated from your tenancies. We'll take a look at that in a moment. The contractors you have against your company records, so all the contractors you have set as suppliers, they'll be available for you in Fixflo. And most importantly, the associated property managers. So we'll look at where that information is stored and how you can update it. Hopefully everyone can see that perfectly fine. Jessica, if you can just confirm.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Brilliant. So to start off, as mentioned, all of your managed properties are going to be visible within Fixflo. If you're not sure how to find your managed properties, there's a number of ways. You may have it set up in your organizer to show all your active tenancies, or you may have a power report set up that's really easy to just show you all your managed tenancies. If you need any help on how to set this up, just reach out to your CSM, they'll be able to advise. So just a reminder, it's really easy to find all your managed properties within Reapit. We'll take a look at one as a specific example. So as mentioned, managed properties will be synced up to Fixflo. How do you know if a property is managed? You can view that under the rent and fee details. If you have a property that's not showing on Fixflo, you can just come back and check this and just make sure you update the letting service correctly so it's associated as a managed tenancy. You can also do that within the tenancy record. So the property will automatically take the most active current tenancy. So if that tenancy in situ is a managed tenancy, then the property will automatically sync as a managed tenancy. And I'll just show you where to find that within the tenancy record. Under role is where you can set the type of tenancy that this is. On the property record, very important, are your landlords. Again, this information will be synced directly to Fixflo. So if you do have any landlords that are missing, just make sure that you correctly add them. And you can add all your additional joint landlords directly within the property record. Just click on Add Joint Landlord and find their details. Very important that you have this correctly updated, as that information won't be syncing through to Fixflo. As we mentioned, tenants are also fed through. So on the property, your tenants will be from your most current tenancy. Again, you can update it directly here. As you can see, this is the main tenant. If there's any tenants that are missing, we can just go ahead and add them as additional tenants or occupiers. Now, we mentioned that property managers or key contacts are also synced through to Fixflo. That information is set on the property record itself. What's really important to know, Fixflo will take the property manager relationship as a priority. So if you do have a property manager set, or you don't, it's really easy to add them under the associated roles. That person will be the associated agent against the property in Fixflo. If you do not have a property manager set, Fixflo will take the key contact user from the relationships of the property record. Again, really easy to manage by just adding a relationship onto the property. Just a key note, in the tenancy, which is slightly different to the property, you are able to set a tenancy manager, but just really important to know, Fixflo does not take tenancy manager details from Reapit, as a tenancy manager will be someone that progresses the tenancy, for example. The property manager is associated on the property record. And lastly, a bit of important information that's taken from Reapit are your suppliers. Suppliers are managed through company records. So for example, if we take a look at Gary Biles, you can see here that this company record is saved as a business type supplier. So it's really important to make sure that you have these correctly updated. Otherwise, you won't be able to find that information in Fixflo. Something that we'll cover later in this webinar, just to take important note of, is the company reference number. We'll come back into this at a later slide. So that's all the information that's synced from Reapit into Fixflo. And again, as a reminder, Reapit is your source of truth. So anything missing from Fixflo, you just want to make sure that it's correctly updated in Reapit. Back to you, Jessica.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Michael, I'm just going to reshare my screen. There we go, perfect. So as Michael says, Reapit is your source of truth. As long as you are adding information correctly into Reapit, it will sync on a daily basis into Fixflo, and it will lead to a seamless integration for you, meaning that you don't need to worry about double keying. So it really is very, very important that you remember that that data must be added into Reapit rather than into Fixflo. Brilliant. We're also going to be talking about data which syncs from Fixflo into Reapit. So it does go the other way as well. So this is all to do with, I'm sure you've already guessed it, but your issues. So maintenance issues will be reported on Fixflo. So any occupiers that want to report a maintenance issue, the very best practice is to get them reporting maintenance issues on Fixflo. Get your occupiers into those good habits and tell them about the Fixflo platform so that they know that is where they report each and every issue going forward. So once the issue's been reported on Fixflo, it will sit in Fixflo as a reported issue, and it will also then generate as a works order on Reapit with the status pending approval. There will be other fields as well, which will populate into the works order from Fixflo into Reapit, and this includes the issue title, the property manager assigned to the job, and also the date that the issue was created. All jobs will be progressed on Fixflo using the Fixflo workflows. If you're not sure how to use them, we do have a completely free academy called Fixflo Academy, and there are a number of courses on there, including one on how to use the Fixflo workflows. So you can always use those. And I'm just going to hand over to Michael now so that he can talk a little bit around issues, where you can find them in Reapit, so that you can see exactly what syncs from Fixflo into Reapit.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Let's head back over into Reapit. Now, there are a number of ways in which you're able to find works orders within Reapit. The first and easiest way is if you already have it set up within your organizer to have the property management panel. If you do not have this panel available, it's really easy to add. Just click on Layout, Add New Panel, and choose your property management overview. This panel is you're able to filter by all issues. So this is across the whole company, issues that are specific to your office and issues that are specific to you as the property manager. So for example, any properties where you're associated as the property manager, when works orders are created by Fixflo into Reapit, you'll have them visible under outstanding works order, because this is how they'll start their journey within Reapit. You can see here all your outstanding works orders. You click on the works order, it'll take you into the works order. And this is where you'll then be able to see information about this pending approval. Any information that's been added to the works, who's raised it, any work type that's come through, if it's reported by the tenant, who is the property manager associated against the works order, what is the property, etc. I'll show you another way in which you can find works orders. So within reports, you're able to run a works order type power report. From here, you can choose the different types of criteria. For example, status, if you want to have a really easy find of all of your pending approval works orders. You can also do it by office. But if we run this now, you can see again, these are all of your pending approval works orders. So again, just a reminder, when it's synced from Fixflo into Reapit, it starts the journey as a pending approval works order. We'll just let that run. There you go. If you are not familiar with how to use the Power Report, reach out to your CSM. We have tons of collateral on our training portal on how you can get the most out of Power Reporting and learn how to build these. But then just a reminder, really easy to find works order. You can do it from the organizer, you can do it from Power Report, and the last place will obviously be against the property. We'll go back into this managed tenancy. You can see here works, and this again will show you all the works associated against this property. You can customize these fields by right-clicking and choosing additional columns. So if you want to be able to filter by different criteria. But here we have status, and again, really easy to just filter and see all your pending approval works orders that have been created in Reapit by Fixflo. And that's it. Back to you, Jessica.
Excellent. Thank you so much for showing us all that, Michael. So yes, so as we say, the issue is reported on Fixflo, the issue is progressed and completed on Fixflo, and everything will sync into Reapit. We actually have a short video for you now where you will be able to see exactly how issues are progressed on Fixflo and how that works with Reapit. So I'm just going to mute and we're going to play this.
This short video will show you how the advanced integration works between Fixflo and Reapit when an issue is resolved using the Fixflo workflows. The issue will be reported on Fixflo either by the occupier or alternatively you will raise this for them. Both the agent and the occupier will receive an email at the time that the issue is reported. The issue will then sit both on your Fixflo site and on Reapit as a works order. On Fixflo, the issue will have the status reported, and on Reapit, it will be at the status pending approval. The issue will be resolved on Fixflo using the workflows available. Once the issue has been sent onto a contractor, then the issue will automatically be updated on Reapit to the status raised. It's important to highlight here that when a job is instructed onto a contractor on Fixflo, the property float will be available for you to see at this point. If there is no float for this property, then the landlord float will be displayed. This will pull through from Reapit, and it will help to ensure that you do not instruct jobs for more than what's available. If the float amount is enough to cover the cost, then a message will show to let you know that there is a sufficient amount available within the pot. If there is not enough available, then the following message will show. This is highlighting that there are not sufficient funds to complete this job. At this stage, you can still continue to progress the job if you wish. When asked to check the float amount, an audit trail entry will be created within the Audit tab on Fixflo, and this will be time and date stamped. Once the issue has been resolved, it will be closed on Fixflo. This will then update the works order on Reapit, and it will have the status completed. The following information will sit on Reapit: the issue title, the completed date, the associated contractor, the net cost, the VAT cost, and any completion notes. Further, the invoice submitted by the contractor and the summary PDF on the issue will sit on Reapit. This will pull through from Fixflo. The invoice will sit in Reapit as a supplier invoice. As contractors can upload invoices when they complete jobs on Fixflo, we would recommend that you amend your invoicing settings on Fixflo, ensuring that contractors always upload an invoice when completing a job. Administrator users can do this within Fixflo by clicking on Setup, Settings, expanding the General tab, and selecting either Uploaded or Generated within Fixflo or Generated within Fixflo on the drop-down. This setting must then be saved here. A full audit trail of the issue will be available on the Audit tab of each issue within Fixflo. Thank you for watching.
Excellent. Thank you everyone for watching that. I do hope that makes sense and has given you an even better overview as to how issues are progressed on Fixflo and how that all goes into Reapit, and also what information pulls from Reapit across to Fixflo as well, which Michael is going to go through in a little bit more detail regarding that kind of fund. But before he does, I just want to point out that no questions have come through in the Q&A yet. No worries if everything is crystal clear, but if you do have any questions, please don't forget to pop them in the Q&A button for me and for Michael, for us, sorry, and we will get answering them at the end of the webinar. If you're a little shy, don't worry, you can always ask anonymously as well. So really looking forward to receiving your questions, and I'm going to hand over now to Michael, who's going to talk a little bit more about that fund pot.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jessica. I think to just show a completed works order, we'll go back into Reapit because it helps just having that as reinforcement of what you're looking for. So as we discovered in the video, completed works orders are automatically updated back into Reapit. Now, how would you find your completed works order? Well, the easiest way would be against the property. But as I showed you before, you're able to run a power report. I've pre-saved one for completed works order. It's really simple. It's just a works order type report with the criteria of status and completed. We run this report, we'll be able to see all the completed works orders. Now, the one that was covered in the video, we will look at specifically. I already have that reference saved. So we can filter by reference, find the one that was covered in the video. We'll just run through this. So, important information that will be updated in this works order from Fixflo. The issue title, this comes through directly as it's been input by the person who raised it or updated by the contractor. You have the original fault notes that were imported directly from Fixflo into Reapit. You have the completed dates. The contractor completion notes, if they've added any, will be on the notes works detail right down to the bottom. The associated contractor who did the work for you. The net and VAT costs of the invoice. Any invoices that have been submitted by the contractor will be saved against the works order. You can view that by clicking on View Supply Invoice, clicking Docs, and there you'll have the document saved. And a summary PDF, which you can view under document. And this will be uploaded by the contractor, synced back through Fixflo into Reapit. If we just go back to you, Jessica, we can look at that slide that summarizes everything I've shown.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, here we go. So completed issues on Reapit will include, so it's got all the details here that Michael has just been through. So we've got the issue title, the original fault notes, the completed date, the contractor completion notes, if there are any, the associated contractor, the work completion feedback to the agent, net and also VAT costs, any invoices submitted by the contractor, and a summary PDF of the issue. So we're going back here to that really seamless integration, no need to double key, and really saving you and your team time. Michael, do you just want to talk about the accountancy section?
Yes. So something really important to note that in Fixflo, if you do have it available as part of your subscription, you are able to view the available float against that property, how much funds are available for you to use against the work. What's really important to know is as you instruct works in Fixflo, that balance that you have visible in Fixflo may not automatically update. Fixflo takes that information from Reapit. However, the way in which Reapit is built, the accounting process still has to be run by your client's accountants in Reapit in order for any outstanding funds that need to be taken from the rent, from landlord payments, whoever's responsible for that work, needs to be run through the daily processes within Reapit. Before that, available float will be updated in Reapit and then associated back into Fixflo. It's just really important to keep that in mind in case you're instructing multiple works in between when your client accountant has run their daily processes in Reapit, that available funds may not be accurate. Again, Reapit is your source of truth. You can always refer back to that to make sure that you have an up-to-date view of the available float against the property. Fixflo does a really good job of alerting you if you're instructing works that exceed the float that they have visible of. But just a reminder, if you're instructing multiple works, the funds, the float that you're seeing on Fixflo may not yet have been updated until your client accountant has run through their daily processes within Reapit. If you're using Fixflows without funds, check integration. This will not be applicable to you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay, so I hope all that makes sense. This is the integration that we currently have and we've had for a while, but now we really want to talk about what's new, what's shiny and new, what can you start using? So this is all to do with Fixflo's contractor marketplace, which is something that Fixflo have really been working on over the last kind of this year, really. In 2023, we've been doing a lot of work, and what the Fixflo contractor marketplace allows you to do is use our contractors if you are struggling to use your own. This is brilliant for out-of-hours emergencies, in-hours emergencies, reactive works, and even planned maintenance as well. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but just to let you know, so as we said to you, contractors, so your suppliers or contractors, they are added on Reapit. These contractors or suppliers will then pull through to Fixflo, as a contractor. And as you then instruct works onto these contractors, you'll be able to see who the contractor is in Reapit, right? That's always been there, which is brilliant. However, if you are using or you would like to start using the contractor marketplace, you will now be able to see if you are using a Fixflo contractor marketplace contractor, you will be able to see who that contractor now is within Reapit. There is a little bit of a setup to do, however. So once the contractor and supplier, has been added onto Reapit, what you will need to do is, Michael showed you earlier that kind of reference number that comes with each supplier. That will need to be added into Fixflo in order for Reapit and Fixflo to sync and understand exactly who this contractor is, because it is a contractor essentially that comes from Fixflo. So once the supplier has been added onto Reapit, simply take that reference number. I'm sure Michael will share his screen in a minute just to remind you of where that might be. And then all you need to do is within your Fixflo system, simply go to your Contractor Marketplace tab, which sits on your left-hand menu sidebar. You will need to select the tab Contractor Networks and then click Edit Setup. From there, all you need to do is enter that Reapit reference into the external reference field. And then going forward from that moment onwards, any issues which are instructed onto the Contractor Marketplace, it will pull that information into Reapit for you so you can see exactly who that contractor is, just like with any other issue when you're using your own contractors. And also the costs and the invoices, etc. All of that will pull across, keeping absolutely everything under one roof for you. So this is a new bit of work we've been doing. And Michael, if you're happy to share your screen, just to remind people of where that reference would be, so that that would need to slot in to Fixflo. If you did need any help, of course, you could get in touch and we would help you.
Just realized I'm still on mute. Brilliant. So just a reminder, again, once the contract has been added, again, managed on the company records, really straightforward to add. You can search for them here or add them manually. Gary Biles, for example, that was a contract that was associated with another works order. The reference that Jessica is referring to that you need to copy from Reapit and update in Fixflo can be found at the top of the company record. If you just click this, it'll automatically copy it to your clipboard. You don't even have to worry about writing it down. Just click it, automatically copies it, open Fixflo, paste it where needed.
Brilliant. Thank you so, so much. Excellent. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen now, if you're happy, Michael.
Yep.
Wonderful. So I'm now going to talk to you a little bit about the Contractor Marketplace. If you're using it already, brilliant. I hope it's working really, really well for you. If you're not using it yet, you haven't heard about it, well, this is an introduction to it. I am going to also be launching a poll in a few minutes to see if this is something that you would like us to reach out to you about, and we can have a no obligation demonstration and tell you even more about how you can utilize a Contractor Marketplace, which is fantastic, especially for the upcoming winter. I'm sure you're all aware of the storm that's going on at the moment. These things can honestly be super duper helpful. Again, no questions have come in. If you do have a question, just pop it in the Q&A. Like I say, we'd both be so happy to answer them at the end. So introducing Fixflo's Contractor Marketplace offering. Now, this is a 3-layered solution. For those of you already using Fixflo, which I imagine the majority of you on this call are, Fixflo can be used to filter out on average 21% of issues using the Fixflo's customizable guidance and advice pop-ups. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a moment. Then the second layer of this offering is Help Me Fix, which is a video maintenance solution, which is powered by Help Me Fix, which can help to resolve or diagnose 70 to 80% of issues on the spot. And then the final kind of layer of this solution is Prop Call. Now, this allows you to instruct real emergency issues directly onto Prop Call, who will send a contractor out within 4 hours, and they do have SLAs in place. All of our contractors are fully vetted and insured, and I'm going to kind of go into each of these layers in a little bit more detail just now. And just to let you know, this is a unique solution. Nobody else is currently offering this 3-layered solution, which are especially brilliant for emergency issues, which over the winter, the number of issues really do increase, specifically emergencies. So it's a great thing to get in place now. So let's start off with layer 1, which is Fixflo. So again, you're probably familiar with Fixflo. On Fixflo, there are guidance and advice pop-ups, which pop up when occupiers are reporting maintenance issues on Fixflo. Now, these are fully customizable. We have got templated ones there for you. And as I said, they can help to filter out on average 21% of issues before they even come through to you and your team, really helping to save you time. These can help the occupiers with maintenance issues which they are responsible, providing them with general advice about fixing issues themselves, which can really educate them actually for issues going forward as well. You can also embed videos onto these pop-ups, which will play straight away, helping them to kind of follow a video to help fix, for example, a boiler or a radiator, something like that. And you can learn more about how to customize the occupier side of Fixflo on Fixflo Academy. So I've mentioned Fixflo Academy already. It's completely free of charge and it is available for Fixflo customers only. There are a number of short and snappy courses available on there where you can select courses depending on your training needs. And if you would like to know more about how to customize the occupier side of Fixflo, there is a very, very good course available on there. As I mentioned earlier, there's also one available on workflows, and there's also one on how to promote Fixflo to your occupiers. So as I said earlier, getting your occupiers into those really good habits of reporting issues themselves. If you feel that they're not really doing it, have a look at the promotion course. It will help you to get more ideas as to how to make that even better, to see more value out of Fixflo there. So that's the first layer. The second layer, as I mentioned earlier, is Help Me Fix. Now, this is a video maintenance solution. And what Help Me Fix have done is they have hired a number of retired and experienced contractors who will connect via video call to your occupiers within 5 minutes of reporting the maintenance issue. Now, because these are experienced contractors who know exactly what they're talking about, they are able to actually diagnose or resolve on the spot 70 to 80% of the issue. So imagine being able to offer this to your occupiers. It's winter, it's cold, they report that a boiler's broken, and actually you can set up your own parameters to decide exactly which issues go through to Help Me Fix. And they could be on the phone to an experienced, perhaps retired contractor within 5 minutes who is giving them advice and trying to help them fix it. If the issue can't be fixed, of course, this experienced contractor will be able to supply kind of really dedicated and specific notes onto another contractor who will then hopefully be able to have an even higher first-time fix rate. And it also allows them to triage emergencies for you, which can be really difficult because for the occupiers, they often think it's an emergency, whereas the landlord might not quite agree. So getting that triage in place really, really can help as well. So also, if you've got faster fixes, you're also having less damage to your property. So there really are loads and loads of benefits of using Help Me Fix. Now, this can be used on its own, or it can be used together with PropCall. And again, PropCall can also be used on its own. You don't need to use them both together. But PropCall allows you to have a 24/7 emergency call out where the occupier will be called within 30 minutes of reporting the issue, and a contractor will then attend the property within 4 hours for real emergencies. Now, if you are relying on your own contractors, that's great, but who knows if they're off for the weekend, perhaps on a Friday afternoon, and actually the issue won't be fixed until the Monday. Being able to offer this service to both occupiers and also landlords really does allow you to have a step up against other agencies. And as I've mentioned before, all contractors are fully qualified, insured, and also vetted. So again, you can use these two together or on their own. There are a number of benefits of doing this. It allows you to triage urgent issues and emergencies, saving your team time. It can also help you to save your landlords money, and also it improves your occupiers' experience. And as we've mentioned, this is all to do with Reapit, remember. That is what is new at Reapit. You'll be able to see exactly who the contractor is if you are using the contractor marketplace, meaning that all of the invoices, so with our contractor marketplace, they will always submit an invoice on Fixflo. That invoice will also pull into not just Fixflo, but also Reapit as well. So I'm just going to launch a quick poll. Brilliant. So we've got to the section of the live Q&A. No questions have actually come in as of yet. So we have actually finished a little bit earlier than we thought. Often we do leave quite a lot of room for questions because we do really want to be able to answer people's questions properly. What we'll do is we'll leave the poll open and we'll leave the Q&A open for another kind of 5 minutes in case anybody does have any questions, whether it's to do with Reapit or Fixflo. Please do let us know. Again, the poll is still open. There's still a number of people to still respond to that. So please do let us know again if you would like us to reach out to you about Fixflo's contractor marketplace to have access to these emergency contractors. And also, when you do leave this webinar, there will be a very short feedback form. I would appreciate if you could just take a minute of your time to let us know how you got on today. We do really value everybody's feedback, and it does all go up to upper management, and we do try and kind of take that feedback on to make changes to our webinars as well. Brilliant. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a shorter webinar than we thought, but we will both be staying on for 5 minutes. But Michael, it's been a real pleasure having you online with me today. Thank you so much for all of your Reapit expertise.
And thank you for inviting me. For anyone who's on the call, if there's anything that I've covered during this session that you're not sure about, such as the reporting or how to use your organizer, just a reminder, it's really easy to access the information through your training portal. If you're not familiar how to do that, please reach out to your CSM. We have Reapit IQ, which is free to use. You can consume as many times as you like. And we have a whole knowledge base, which is a wealth of articles, including how to manage your works orders, how to report on works orders, and how to simplify some of your tasks to make your daily property management workflow much quicker. So again, just reach out to your CSM. If you're not sure who they are, you can drop a Q&A to this chat, and I'll be happy to get back to you and provide you their details.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Michael. As I say, what we'll do is we'll stay on until 22. So if there are any questions, don't be shy, pop them in the Q&A. If you haven't filled out the poll yet, please just let us know. There is still a number of people to go to let us know whether you would like to have access to emergency contractors. And I'm just going to mute now and see if any questions come in. If you're leaving us now, then thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Please keep an eye out for the recording. It will be with you by the end of play tomorrow, and have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.